Greetings, greetings, greetings to all of my loved ones. Welcome back to another episode of Healing Wisdom with me, your favorite, sexiest, realist spiritual advisor, Empress Oracle. I hope everybody's doing good today. Happy Monday or whatever. What y'all been up to? I'm sorry if I keep shaking the table. I have that effect on things. No, let me stop playing though. But on behalf of Starseed Galactic Federation, I have been given access to this knowledgeable information from my Akashic records for the purpose of helping humanity. This information has been given directly to me as a divine channel, and any use and or reproduction of this information without the proper acknowledgement or accreditation from where it was received will result in instant karma for the plagiarizing parties and or individuals. And so it is. Now let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I know you guys saw the title, Desperate Times Call for Desperate Measures, or whatever the hell I decided to put on there. That's fine, because I haven't made the title yet. But I know what I want to talk about to you guys. This is my most recent learning experience, because as I said, you're always learning, you're always healing, you're always growing, or at least you're supposed to. However, in the area of desperate times call for desperate measures, I need everybody to be aware, because this happened to me and I see it happen to a lot of people also. That's why it's very important for you when you get into a relationship with somebody, an interpersonal relationship with somebody. It's not always good to tell people about your past and certain things that you have been through, especially if they are negative or triggering things that have happened to you, traumatic incidences that have happened to you. Sometimes you don't want to tell people that. That's why that also is a rule that I have had in all of my relationships, where I don't talk about my past, my exes in the relationship, because the person you're in a relationship with, they always find a way to throw that back into your face. And that is where the saying, for me, desperate times call for desperate measures, comes into play, because it is definitely a proven fact, not just with me, but with other associates and stuff that I've had, that they have confided into somebody. You know, either they already had an established trust, or it was a part of their trust building exercises, or it may have just been a general casual conversation, and they may have shared or expressed to somebody, such as I did. I relayed one of my past traumatic events to somebody. Now, we all know I've been through a lot, but I have healed from all of my events. Anything that I put out, any healing wisdom that I put out, any of the traumatic events that I tell stories and how I healed and what happened to me that I put out, is because I healed, and I want other people to know how to heal as well. However, this person had me fucked up. So I told somebody about one of my stories, which is also here. You know, all of my stories of things that I go through, like I said, I share on YouTube. So I shared that story with someone, right? And this person and myself, we both shared stories with each other as our friendship grew and we got to know each other, or so I thought. And basically what happened was that person, in turn, after I told them about a traumatic and triggering incident that happened to me in my life that almost cost me my sanity and my health, that person in turn turned around and did the same thing to me, or attempted to do the same thing to me, and intentionally. And as this person was doing after the fact, because I was in shock that somebody who I chose to let into my circle, I was very much in shock that that person would choose to betray me in a way that was so painful to me. And this is somebody who, as usual, being an empath, you're always there for people whenever they need you. So this is somebody I had been there for, you know, when they needed me, emotionally, as a friend, or whatever. This person turned around and did the same thing to me. And then after they did it with the intention, they said, oh my gosh, did I just do to you what you said had happened to you before? Did I just do that? Did I just do that? That's what the motherfucker did. Yes. Well, needless to say, I was in shock. But the best thing to do when you're in shock for something, when you're shocked by somebody's audacity, because you know, this was a learning experience for me, because just because you would not have the audacity to do something does not mean that somebody else would not have the audacity to do something. It does not matter how you treat certain people. When people act with intentions to harm or to hurt you, knowing the pain and the trauma that it caused, that definitely shows you that, one, they're desperate, because desperate times call for desperate measures. And in this scenario where the person turned around and did the same thing to me that previously had traumatized me in my past but has no power over me now, when this person did that to me, they were desperate. They were desperate for my attention. They were desperate for my affection. And, you know, the stage that we were in our relationship, they had lost that. So out of desperation, they chose to take the steps that other people have done to traumatize me, thinking that that would emote feelings of fear in me, that I would be scared, thinking that it would be a control tactic or a power move, because since I had already had a modicum of, I'm not even going to say trust, but I knew this person's ways to a certain degree, right? The person went and did the fuck shit and thought that that would have me in the bag, basically, out of desperation. And when somebody is doing something out of desperation, you can always tell when somebody is desperate, because the energy is different. If you're used to being around somebody all the time and you have a certain energy, and then all of a sudden they just come around, the energy is just not right, they're desperate. If they're moving around, being frantic, frenetic energy, kinetic energy, my bad, look at me just rhyming. They're acting out of desperation. And when people are desperate, or when people are scared, or when people are triggered, they will do things as a last resort. They will do things that may seem out of character for you and the interactions that you have had with that person. However, in times of fear, in times of desperation, in times of panic or extreme emotion, that's when you find out somebody's true character. All right? That's when you find out if somebody really ain't shit or not, how they act. Desperate times call for desperate measures. However, some people really only care about themselves, so they will do certain things in times of desperation to try to control the person, to try to trigger the person, to try to subdue the person, especially if you have a strong energy or a strong personality. If a person feels as though they cannot control you, they will get desperate, and they will do whatever it takes. They will try to find your weakness, your weak spot, or what they perceive to be a weakness, and they will try to target that or trigger you in that way. However, this situation also, not only did it make me realize that this person was acting out of desperation, and their intentions all the way around where I was concerned are just in the toilet, but also too, this tells me that you never fully know somebody. You never fully know somebody's intentions or what they would do until it comes to a high stress situation, or a situation where there are a lot of emotions or feelings involved. And as I said, if those feelings that flare up happen to be desperation or fear or anger, people can do things that may cost you your life. We have to be careful. Whenever you see somebody, ladies, I know, because I know back in the day when I was younger, I used to do this shit too. When you see that somebody is desperate for your attention and stuff, sometimes we like to eat that shit up. But desperation will make people do things. Never play with anybody's emotions. I'm the kind of person, I've never thought it fun or cool to play with people's emotions, because that's how people get killed. However, if somebody shows you that they are willing to do things that are extreme to get your attention or to control you, take heed of that, because a lot of people are losing their lives from situations like this. And actually, in that situation, I could have lost my life. I could have lost my life, right? So what I did was I reacted as calmly as possible. I was shocked, but I was also calm. And, you know, afterwards, you process whatever is going on. Excuse me, that's my daughter, y'all. You process whatever is going on, and you move. But that's why it's also important to be healed, because if you are not truly healed and somebody does something out of desperation or something that could trigger you emotionally, it's going to set you back in your ascension journey. It's going to set you back in your emotional, your spiritual, your soul's journey, all the progress, all the healing that you have done in life. That's why it is very, very important for people to heal, because when somebody feels as though they know your weak spot, every time you're not complying with what they want, they're going to try to push those buttons. And if you give somebody the power to control your emotions, then you give them the full power over you. And the only person that needs to control you is you. I'm just saying. So long story short, Operation Trigger Keisha failed. Didn't work, because as a healer, I say it all the time, it is important for you to heal. You cannot be a healer if you don't know how to heal from certain things. You cannot take people's actions personal. And that's what a lot of people do out of desperation, because they know, especially if that person is a nicer person that has pure intentions, they know that those actions that they did out of desperation are going to cause that other person to start questioning themselves, doubting themselves, and perhaps shut themselves down or revert, which is exactly what that person wants. You never let the devil win. You always have control of your feelings and your emotions to the best of your ability. And if you don't know how to heal, pray. Ask God, source, divine, the universe, whatever, to show you how to heal, so that people don't have those triggers to trigger you in times of desperation when they choose to employ desperate measures. You will be unscathed. You'll be able to dodge and duck that shit just like the Matrix, just like I did, because who do that? Not me, not Keisha. No. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. Be careful, because there's a lot of it going on. I cannot, I'm one of those people, I like the crime shows, the murder mysteries. I like to stay up on the news. I care about what's going on. And I cannot help but notice that besides myself, there's a lot of other people out here who are being harmed, whether intentionally harmed, from people who are supposed to care about them, people who are supposed to love them, right, out of desperation in order to control them. And it's getting so bad to the point now where people are actually losing their lives. That is why domestic violence, when I say domestic violence, I just don't mean with your boyfriend. I'm talking about in families, friendships, anywhere where you live with somebody. We share a domicile. That's why it's on a rise right now, because people are acting out of desperation once they see that situations are not working for them anymore, or they cannot control a situation. They're taking desperate actions that are causing people their lives and their freedom. So we need to be aware. To be forewarned is to be forearmed, okay? Make sure that your confidence is where it needs to be. Make sure that you are doing your part in your healing journey, because nobody can heal for you. Nobody can heal you. You have to heal yourself. Everybody has to be willing to do the work themselves, so that they don't re-traumatize anybody, so that they don't build false foundations with people off of trauma bonding. Because once you do that without realizing it, you are sick. You are sick. And if you do desperate acts out of desperation to control people, you are sick and you need professional help. And on top of that, you also need to get your spirituality and your energy together. And I most definitely have products for you that can do that on my shop on Etsy, Empress Oracle Shop. There I have body butters that are specifically charged with the intentions to aid in your physical manifestations, your material manifestations, to protect you from negative energy, including character such as what I described to you, and to also enhance your self-love, so that you know your worth, so that you know when somebody is trying to control you or to break down all the hard work that you've done in your healing. You're gonna need to protect yourself from them. I have a butter for that. I have oils, I have bath salts, everything you need, crystals to aid you on your journey and to guide you, so that you make sure you don't go the wrong way. So be sure to check that out on Etsy. Again, that's Empress Oracle Shop. Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful week, and I love you all. And I'm continuing to learn, to heal, and to grow. And I wish the same for you all as well. Be safe, and I love you all.